Time tracking management in QuickBooks Online. Now, if you saw my billable expense video, there was some of that. I did want to remind everybody, if I go to the gear icon, Accountant Settings, in the Advanced tab, Essentials Plus and QBO Advanced, they can all track time. They have time tracking only users. In Advanced, those same time tracking only users can upload receipts for receipt capture. If you remember that, I'm speaking across different videos now, right? They're all kind of melding into one, but here's where you turn settings for time tracking. Add service field to timesheet because, invoices are item-based, estimates are item-based, things like that. You're going to put items on your cost forms. So add service field to timesheets. Make single time activity billable to customers so you can pass it through, right? I never check the box to show billing rate to users entering time, right? I just don't want them to see that. And then you choose the first day of the week. Now, this is just for the very fundamental time tracking features you have within QBO, and then we'll get to QuickBooks Time as well, which is its own app, right? Formerly T-Sheets, and Intuit bought T-Sheets, and now it's QuickBooks Time. And all this stuff can be done on the phone. There's geofencing, GPS tracking, facial recognition. All this kind of stuff helps automate time entry. You can even have a kiosk where employees have to badge in. Automates, makes time tracking more efficient outside of QBO, but it's integrated inside of QBO. QB Time is also built into the premium and elite levels of QuickBooks Online Payroll. So there's a lot of integration going in there with QuickBooks Time, aka T-Sheets, that will help depending on your workflow needs and sophistication. Right out of the box in Essentials and up, under New, you have single time activity and you have weekly timesheet. And this is where you can manually enter your timesheet, and you can enter the customer project, service item worked on, the pay item for payroll. Remember, time goes to not just invoicing, if you make it billable, but also payroll, a class or a location, right? There's no time clock, right? But that's where QuickBooks Time comes in. But just fundamentally in QuickBooks Online Essentials Plus and Advanced, you have the weekly timesheet, and then you also have a single time activity window. We'll choose Isaac Adams. Here's his cost rate. Here's the project, catering event he was working with for the Baranus. Here's the service item that he did, some masonry work at a catering event. Again, you can make it billable or not. We don't have to, but if you make it billable, as we would have gone over the billable expense video, is passing through time material expense to a customer invoice, which can be automated in QBO. Remember that too, either with a recurring invoice or that global automation setting, create invoices against unbilled activity. That's happening in QuickBooks Online as well. So we'll leave it billable, but you don't have to. And then you enter, start and end times, or just put the time that they were there. It was like 8 hours, right? Pretty easy. I mean, the single time activity or the weekly timesheet as well. And both of these flow into payroll. Now, QuickBooks Time, again, formerly T-Sheets. And I've been clocked in for an hour and 39 minutes plus 4 extra minutes. I just came back for this particular backyard demo work that I'm doing. And you can see who's working here, which is awesome. There's the time clock that you see, and you're tagging it to a particular customer job. So projects, customers, sub-customers, all your items, vendors, employees, they all come over from QuickBooks Online into QuickBooks Time. There's work schedules. You have projects you can track. You can see who's working, manual timesheets and entries, approvals before you send it over to QuickBooks Online, and then you have a bunch of time-related reports. And now here's my team. The employees are vendors that I brought in from QBO, and you invite them to QuickBooks Time as well because they want to download the app to be able to punch in and out on the phone. It's so much better. Here's all my customers from QuickBooks Online, and there's a bunch of add-ons too. Now, I'm going to clock out for this, and see I've required that I have to choose the right class and service item. And then if I go over to approvals, and I'm just going to do it from Monday through today, run the report, right? It's mostly my time, right? No one else is clocked in or anything like that. So I can then approve this, which you can do from within QuickBooks Online as well, right? And then export approved time. And I'm going to export 1.68 hours for one person, export all hours. And that's going to go over to QBO. And you can go up to your sync report and see it exported. These timesheets, 1.41 hours for Clay Adams, over to QBO. And there's several, of course, time activity reports. This is time activities by employee detail. There's a time activity by customer as well. You can see it came over here, and it was not marked billable, so I wouldn't be creating an invoice. But when I go run payroll for this week, we'll just do through the 15th. I won't actually. Now, Clay was a vendor, so he's not going to be on the list for this, right? But Isaac, he's 8 hours, so that would come over from QuickBooks Time. So from QuickBooks Time, it comes in payroll, or you can create invoices against it as well. Sales, and then all sales or customers. You'll see, right, unbilled activity, and I have, $100 in time and $200 in time built up. Here's the catering event we were talking about earlier, $600, and you can just create an invoice, right? And it comes over, it's in the right-hand panel. It'll be over here, billable time. So that's coming from either the entry I do in the single time activity window or the weekly timesheet, or it's coming from QuickBooks Time. And remember, it can go to an invoice if you marked it billable, and the other path is to payroll. And that is time management within QBO. And let's not forget about the mobile aspect of this too.